Morning. So, yes, it is Palm Sunday. It's the day that the Lord started his actual journey to the cross, officially, to sacrifice himself for us. But it just so happens that this year, Palm Sunday falls on the eve of Purim. And Purim it's not in the book of Leviticus, obviously, because it didn't happen yet. But it does talk about in the book of Esther that God wants his people to remember what happened on Purim. And if you're not sure, it's all about the book of Esther. Okay, Queen Esther. So I just find it interesting because I think that in a very small way, Queen Esther, whose Hebrew name was Hadassah, actually was put to the test in a way that the Father put the Lord to the test, to take the risk that she might die in order to save her people. Because she knew that going into the king without him inviting her could mean her death. And, obviously the Lord knew he was going to die, but she didn't know, and she was risking that in spite of everything, because she knew in her heart of hearts that it was the only way to save Israel. And she also knew the scriptures where God says that Israel is his people. And we are now, of course, grafted in, those of us that are physical as well as spiritual. We're all spiritual Israel. So Purim commemorates the narrow escape of the entire Jewish people, Israel, from the threat of annihilation, and the courage of Queen Esther, who bravely stood up for her people. So there's 4 hidden things in this story. One is, you may have noticed that God himself is hiding in the book of Esther. He is not mentioned at all, not even once. It is the only book in the Bible where God is hidden like this. I think it was his way of screaming out loud, "Watch for my Messiah. He's going to do this and more." But he is there. Those who look for him can find him lurking between the lines, giving the strange impulse to King Xerxes to suddenly read the archives in the middle of the night, without which the story would have ended very differently for Mordecai and the Jewish people. So Esther follows her cousin Mordecai's instructions, this is number 2, to keep her Jewish identity hidden. Esther wasn't even her real name. That was her Persian name. All right, keep in mind, we're talking about Persia versus Israel. Her Jewish name was Hadassah, which means myrtle tree. Obedient as she was, Esther, or Hadassah, kept her identity a secret, only revealing it at the crucial time to her husband, the king, and so was able to be a vessel for the deliverance of her entire nation. A vessel for the deliverance of her entire race. Number 3, 3 hidden kings. Haman, the man behind the plot to destroy the Jewish people in the book of Esther, was a direct descendant of King Agag, the Amalekite. King Agag is the first hidden king. Long ago, Haman's ancestors, the Amalekites, had very unwisely decided to attack the newly liberated Israeli slaves as they stumbled out of Egypt. And not only that, but they chose to attack the rear of the convoy, where the old, the infirm, and the weak were found. Haman was a man after his forefathers' hearts. And number 4, the unseen battle. So it's a multi-layered story of secrets and surprises. Satan, the real hidden enemy, failed in yet another attempt to wipe out Israel and prevent the unborn Messiah from being revealed to the world a couple of hundred or 1,000 years later. Unseen evil trying to stop the appearance of the ultimate good, but pointlessly fighting against an invisible and unbeatable God. That's who he is. He's invisible and unbeatable. So no matter what you are facing, and we all are facing many, many things in this world that are not of God, remember, and I am speaking to myself as well, he's invisible, but he is unbeatable. So happy Purim, Chag Sameach.